What's up, everybody? This is Unchained with Adrian, and I'm Adrian. So, today's topic is called Do You Have Balls? And this is our second episode in our series of To Forgive and Forget. All right? So, before we get started with our topic, I want to deliver a spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, okay? This movie called The Sausage Party should not be viewed by anyone under the age of 25. The movie should have a couple X's behind it, not just one. It is not just for adults. It is for people who have seriously perverted minds who want to watch this. This should have a .com behind it to be viewed. It should be bought by someone or purchased from someone named Pookie on the black market, not shown in movie theaters. That is all I want to say about The Sausage Party. I watched it with some people, and by the end of the movie, this is how my expression was. The entire 5-10 minutes. Don't take your kids, and I wouldn't suggest you go yourself, but I stayed with the people I was with. So that's just it. That's my little tidbit on The Sausage Party. Don't go see it unless you're high or drunk or like things that end with .com that's got triple X's behind it. That's it. All right, so on to today's topic. I got a message from a friend, so I'm going to read it to you, and we'll go on from there. All right, topic again. Do you have balls? Adrian, I'm 450 degrees hot right now. Me and my fiance had our date night yesterday at the bowling alley. We had been chilling for a while by the bar and saw these dudes watching me. I thought nothing of it at the time. So after about an hour, our lane opened up and we sat down to get our shoes. My hubby to be asked me if I would grab his bowling ball while he put our info in. I said okay and headed to the racks. Well, I noticed the 5 guys who were looking before in the lane right next to the racks. I got him a ball and went to grab myself one when here come these dudes trying to get my attention. Making comments saying I need to join their lane and just saying how good I looked and blah, blah, blah. I kept it moving, and I didn't acknowledge them at the time at all. So I get back to our lane where my fiance takes one look at the ball and says, "This is the wrong one. Would you grab me an 11?" Trying to be respectable, I tell him what happened and asked him would he grab his ball himself. Okay, guys, I am specifically asking you to give me your feedback on what would you do or what should be done in a situation like this where you're with your fiance, girlfriend, significant other, or friend, female, even a family member who is in a situation where they feel uncomfortable, walking over to a group of guys, or even for females. It's been times where girls can overreact about a guy, and it's your husband or somebody, and they're trying to be respectable, and they ask you to go get this bowling ball for them. What would be the correct answer is my question, my number one question to you. Okay, so let me read further and tell you what the end of the scenario was for them. She goes on to say, "This man I'm supposed to marry blows up at me saying, What the AGLL you doing wearing those tight ASS jeans? They wouldn't want you without all that Maybelline. You don't look that good. You were probably twerking. He went on for a while. Needless to say, I was hot. Adrian, to make a long story short, that was the end of date night. He apologized and said he was just jealous, but I'm not sure. What do you think? Okay. All right, so, woosah. That's the first thing I have to say. Woosah. Because first of all, my comment, my thoughts are, if you think the only reason why somebody wants me is my physical appearance and because of the way I carry myself in a negative way, why are you with me? What do you want with me? Is the question. Like, why do you think that that's all they want? What do you want? What do you want with me? What are you doing with me? You think the only thing they're going to do is try to lay down with me for one day and then leave me? Well, how did I get you? You know? I mean, that's where my mind goes to. I don't understand how me going to get you a ball leads to me twerking. Like less than less than what, 10, 5 yards from you, 4 yards. How long is a bowling alley? It's what, 10, 20, about 24 lanes at most of the bowling alleys here in Atlanta. It's not that many lanes. You can see me. Why would I be twerking somewhere? These people are crazy sometimes. For me in this situation, I would be the worst person. I have been in this situation and I have been the worst person. When I have to react to things like this, I usually try to be on the side of proving you wrong. And it would probably lead to me taking an Uber or a cab home. That's just the reality of my situation. But for the sake of this episode, for this show, what I'll definitely say to be more mature about this, I'll say this. Someone like this seems to me to be verbally abusive, mentally abusive, and could lead to being physically abusive. For him to try to downplay what you look like or even tell you they really don't want you if you don't have on makeup or if you weren't wearing tight jeans, it's really trying to hit at your ego, at your self-esteem. He's trying to take you down a couple notches. You know, if he's a good man, he would have been like, you know, sweetheart, I understand why they want you. You fine and all this other stuff, trying to build you up, not tear you down. So it's no reason why somebody should be taking so much already a negative situation and turning it into a greater negative situation, especially someone you're supposed to be saying I do to, or trying to make a long time partner in your life. You're saying that I'm going to marry this person. You know, for me, it's like, how can you sit here and say something like that to me when you want to marry me? I don't get it. I think this dude is somewhat crazy. But again, in light of the show, what I will say is that, you know, you can do two things with this guy. Number one choice would be dump his ass. I'm just going to put it out there. Just dump him. Dump him. But number two, it would be to get some help. Seek some counseling from your church, from professionals, or whatever source you can get that's not a friend or someone else like that. Because if you find this guy is someone that you really love and that you really want to be with and that you think he deserves a second chance, give it to him. Find out for yourself, but find out before you say I do. My other thing would be to don't forget this situation, because you need to remember it just in case it happens again, because it can become a rerun city for you, reoccurring events, and it could be the worst thing that you ever find yourself getting into in the long run if you just forget the situation. You need to remember this and try to take it as a lesson for yourself and decide if this is somebody you really want to stick with, especially if he doesn't straighten up, period. I mean, it's just not something you want to find yourself in down the road 4 or 5 situations later, and next thing you know, you wearing sunglasses in the wintertime when it's raining outside and cloudy, if you get what I mean. You have to protect yourself and protect your livelihood, your emotional, your spiritual, and your mental being, overall your physical. You have to protect those things. And this is just not for women, this is for men too. I know some women that are verbally abusive, someone trying to put men down. It's all the same. It doesn't matter what sex you are. The point is, if you're trying to have a relationship with someone, it should be to build you and the other person up. You guys should be working together as a partnership and not trying to break each other down as enemies. That's some serious hater stuff, and it's not the way to go. He should have just been like, I love you. You think you're beautiful. I see what they see, which they see what I see in you. And anything positive that he could have came out, not with, oh, you're not all that, blah, blah, blah. I don't think so. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut this for today because I don't want to get into my own skin and start talking out of part. So I'll go ahead and ask you guys. Number 1, do you forgive and forget? Number 2, do you forgive but not forget? Or number 3, do you just forget the whole thing? Forget him, forget the engagement, forget he existed, period. Let me know what you think. Let's be real, because this is a real person that we're talking about, and they really could use our help. If you've been in a situation just where something like this has happened to you, please definitely give your input. This is a real situation, and we really could use your responses. Thank you guys for watching the second episode of Unchained with Adrian. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to hearing from you. God bless.